Sharpeners always have questions about sharpness testing. And if you're going to do really good sharpness testing, of course, you would really need to measure the force it takes to cut through something. There are very expensive testing machines out on the market that do this. In 2013, I was lucky enough to be at a conference where one of the vendors had one of these machines. There were about 6 other vendors there who were putting out knife sharpeners, including myself. And every knife sharpener there was able to better the sharpness of a factory edge by about a factor of 2 to 1. But I'm very happy to say that the combination of the Tormac and the RS-150 that I use topped all of those, and we dropped our force to about 40% of what a factory knife would have been. Besting machines that cost 5 times as much. Test we're all familiar with is slicing paper. But if we want to make that test more challenging, we can dome the paper like this, which reduces the amount of force we can put on it, and see if we can still manage to slice that paper. As you can see, that works. And then if we want to make that test even more challenging, we move to a softer paper like newsprint, and we'll see if that will work. Finally, I have a sheet of plexiglass here covering my desk. And with plexiglass, it's a harder plastic than the pen that we use to test sometimes. The nail stick test that we use, where we try to get the knife to stick at either our fingernail or a Bic pen, if we go up to a hard piece of plastic like the plexiglass and test to see if it will catch, it's a more critical test because the blade will slide more easily if it's the least bit dull. Another advantage of this one is we can test in the opposite direction, and we can test the blade to make sure it's got some symmetry to it and is sharp in both directions, and you're not favoring a burr or something in one direction. If we try that with the paper, of course, then we're cutting toward our hand because none of us are very good at working with our weak hand. So the plexiglass is a good symmetric test and much more critical. The newspaper, domed newspaper, again, is a more critical test than simply slicing paper.